all yeah, I saw how all of you guys backtested the key levels, right? So hopefully everyone's familiar with key levels because like I told you, they're very important. Okay, almost every turning point are made on those key levels on whatever time frame. So if you could quickly spot them as soon as you open the charts, that's a good thing. Okay, that's a good thing. So today, yeah, this will also be a short session because these are just the basics. Okay, these are the basics. Now today we'll be talking about trend lines, how we can use them with the key levels. Okay, now later I'll show you how to use it as direction because I don't want to confuse you. For direction, we rely on storylines and decision points a bit. Okay, so mainly storylines. And yeah, because if you master storylines, you wouldn't need anything else. Okay, you would need trend lines or anything. But later I'll show you how to use trend line as the direction. But for now, I'll show you how to use it as confluence. Okay, how to use it at confluence, the different types of tiers and the best tiers that I prefer using and all that stuff. I'll show you. Okay, but before that, now, did you see where today's sell came from? Hopefully, you guys were able to spot that. If you go to weekly, what is this? Right? What is this? This is SPR.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
saw it before we
Yeah.
started.
Okay, so we had this. Now we could have done a little refinement. How now? Look at this. This is your weekly nine. Now, this is the reason I told you I don't focus on fresh and non-fresh. Now, most people wouldn't even consider this, right? Because why? They'll tell you that is unfresh because of this week. Okay, but yeah, then they would have found out something on the lower time frames. But I trust the higher time frames more. That is why I stick to the higher time frames. Now look at this. This is a weekly SBR, which could be refined into, if you go to H4, what is this? On that same zone we had head and shoulder, right? Or it's the left
Left
shoulder.
shoulder.
Left
Yeah.
shoulder. Very perfect. Look at that. Okay, and then if we add something else, we had this trend line. Perfect. Can you see that? So now I'll talk about trend lines. Can you see that? Look how perfect this is. Can't get any better, right? Trend lines, key levels, boom, the drop. Okay, now once we talk about storylines, once we talk about direction and all that stuff, I will tell you how to take these cells, why we use like why we look for cells. Actually, I will show you all of that. Don't worry, but take it step by step. And even the buy today. Okay, even the buy today, where did that come from? We had the daily open close, right? We had a daily open close, which was once used as a resistance. So that is a good zone to pay attention to. And not only that, now, this was, of course, not based on this daily zone. Okay, to be honest, this is not based on the daily zone. We have a confirmation entry, a confirmation that works almost around 95% of the time. That is by using H4 and H1. I'll show you all of that later. Okay, so now this was that confirmation entry, H4 rejecting H4, and then H1 breaking open, close, and structure. So which means we have our confirmation. I will teach you guys that stuff. Do not worry. Okay, but for now, let's just stick to the topic. Okay, so there was another trend line here today. I'm just showing you what happened today, and then I'll show you like what trend lines are. Okay, what are the types of trend lines and all that. Look at this. Okay, we had a trend line. We had this H1 open close. We had the daily level in here, which could be refined into this. Same on it's on the same zone. Can you see it? It's on the same zone. This is what is this? This is left shoulder, right? This is also left shoulder. And now there's one way. Yeah, this is personally how I find the best trend lines. That is by determine the timing. Okay, so for me, New York kill zone is at 4:30 p.m. New York session is at 5:30 p.m. So what I want to do is I want to see a trend line overlapping with these key levels at this time of the day. Okay, now I'll show you a lot of examples this way. This is how I find out the best trend lines. Can you see how perfect this is? This is 4:30 p.m. This is when New York kill zone starts. That's my time. You can set it to your time zone and then do this. See this 4:30 p.m. my time. That is New York kill zone. 5:30 p.m. my time. That is the New York session. Okay, and then we had daily and H1 levels. We had this beautiful trend line in here as well. So this is the zone that I'm focusing on for buys. Okay, so I'll show you. I'll show you all of that. And then did you see the reaction? Look how good this is. Right at 6:30 p.m. See that? Right at 6:30 p.m. we got into the zone. Okay, trend line overlaps, key levels, perfect. And then what happened? Boom, right away. Can you see now this trend line? Of course, this was on the H4. So this is on the H1. It doesn't look that good. Don't mind that because if it's a H4 trend line, we need to see H4 itself tapping into that, not H1 breaking that. Okay, so this is not a break because if you go to H4, you can see how it respected the zone perfectly. Now, did you see where the buy came from? Even the re-entry, look at this. Rejected, closed above it. The next candle tapped right back into the trend line. Boom. Can you see? So that's perfect, right? Look at this. See that? 120 pips. What more do we need, right? We had 120 pips. And then I showed you the sell, right? We were selling it because weekly was still bearish. Okay, I'll explain all that later, but for now, let's focus on trend lines. This was just a little hint kind of thing. Okay, so this is the thing now. If you always make it a rule to pay yourself at 100 pips each day, so there you go. You had 100 here, 200 pips already. So you shouldn't even be looking at the charts again, right? So two perfect entries we had using the higher time frame levels. Okay, so I'll explain all of that later. Now let's get into trend lines. Okay, let's get into trend lines. Now, there are different types of trend lines that you could use. Okay, so the first one would be a continuation trend line, very simple, something like this. Okay, very simple. Trend lines are simple, but you need to know how to draw them properly. I'll show you. Look at this, something like this, and then the third touch is now most people will tell you is the third touch is your entry. Okay, but I'll show you now. Yeah, whatever works for them works for me. Works for them, but whatever works for me works for me. Now, what I do is now I now most people will not pick this trend line if it was used from the third touch. Okay, but I wouldn't do it that way. Now, for me, the trend lines that were used again and again, those are the best types of trend lines to determine direction. I'll show you that. Okay, those are the best types of trend lines to determine direction and to use as confluence as well. Okay, I'll show you examples. So this is simply what we call a continuation trend line. So if we are in an uptrend, we could use a trend line like this to get an entry. Okay, simple. Now I'll show you examples, don't worry. And then same thing in a downtrend, right? Something like this. Okay, because you need to be able to spot these trend lines very quickly, right? Because like I told you, our analysis should only take less than 1 minute. Okay, if you keep struggling to watch for trend lines to use as confluence and all of that, yeah. So you need to get better at that. So that is why you need to practice this a lot. Okay, so look at this. This could be the entry. Okay, so that is a continuation trend line. This is what we call a continuation trend line. Now the next one would be, now yeah, these are my favorite types of TLs, trend lines. Okay, so the next one would be a break and retest trend line. Very simple, something like this. Okay, something like this. This is what we call a break and retest trend line. Very simple. Okay, so if it is broken, you could expect it to act as a resistance once again. And then, of course, we're not going to use trend lines alone. We can use trend lines alone, but um, you need to be a master of trend lines to do that. Okay, so the best thing to do is now always remember, first you choose your key level, your SNR, whatever, and then you look for the trend line. Okay, you don't directly go to charts, spot a trend line, and then spot your key levels. You can do that later, not right now. Okay, right now, SNR will be the main thing that we're focusing on. Okay, so keep that in mind. So we had this, and then same thing down here. If it breaks, you could expect it to do this. This is also a break and retest trend line. So these two, yeah, honestly, these two are my favorite types of TS. These are the ones that I use a lot. Okay, I use this a lot. Yeah, because they're very high probability, in my opinion. I'll show you examples. Okay, and the next one will be a reversal trend line. Okay, the next one will be a reversal trend line that is something like this. Okay, so we could draw it like this. Like I told you, the first thing should be a key level. Okay, the first thing should be a key level. Let's say we have something like this, the market going up, maybe consolidating, building up some liquidity and all of that stuff. And then let's say we had some high time frame key level in here. So what you could do is draw a trend line like this and then use it as confluence. Okay, so the market might do this, something like this. So this is what we call a reversal trend line. Okay, this is what we call a reversal trend line. So first thing you do is you identify that there is a high time frame key level, there's liquidity below that, and then you could draw a reversal trend line like this. These, in my opinion, you can spot this everywhere and they are confusing. That is why you should stick to the continuation trend lines and break and retest trend lines. And if there are no continuation and break and retest trend lines, this is the type of trend lines that you could go with. Okay, so remember, the main focus should be on continuation trend lines and break and retest trend lines. Okay, now, like I told you, SNR is the main thing here. Okay, SNR and the time frames are the main thing here. Trend lines will be used as confluence, even as direction, but that will come later. Okay, I'll show you that. And the same thing, let's say we have the market doing something like this. Right? Let's say we have market doing something like this. We have a high time frame key level in here. We have, let's say, some liquidity building up and all that stuff. Then we could draw a trend line like this as confluence into the zone. And if the market comes here, yeah. And even this now, let's say, now most of the time, the best trend lines, yeah, not the best trend lines. We will be using trend lines a lot on H4 and H1. Okay, H4 and H4, H4 and H1 mainly. You could draw it on daily, weekly, and even monthly. But the thing is, these daily, weekly, and monthly trend lines are a little bit hard to trade until, yeah, I'll have to be honest with you. Okay, they're a little bit hard to trade until you master these trend lines. Okay, but the thing is now we focus on key levels first. That's why I made it clear. First comes the key level, then your trend line. Okay, so don't focus on drawing a trend line right away. Okay, no, you need to focus on your key levels and then the refinements, and then it comes to the trend line. Okay, now once we start the backtesting sessions, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'll explain all of that. So that is that. And also now there's another one that you could use if there are no other trend lines. Like let's say there are no continuation trend lines, no break and retest trend lines, not even a reversal trend line. Then we have something like this, the breakout of the reversal trend line. Okay, these I don't like to use this a lot, but yeah, they work. I'll show you examples from all of this. Look at this. Okay, so this is also a type of trend line that you could use. Okay, so keep that in mind. If there is nothing else you can use that. Okay, and then same thing like this. Okay, we could expect them. Yeah, normally this type of a trend line is used when we have a drop with huge momentum or else a huge move to the upside. These are the types of trend lines that we could use, because in my backtesting, I found out that when we have moves to the upside, like huge moves to the upside, there are no continuation trend lines. It doesn't come into a break and retest trend line. It comes into these types of trend lines when we have huge momentum. I'll show you. Okay, so that's it. That's pretty much it. Those are the types of trend lines. So we had few, right? We had two continuation trend lines, that's bullish and then bearish, and then break and retest, reversal trend line, and then the break of the reversal trend line. Okay, now some people will draw some crazy trend lines like this. Okay, so let's say, yeah, maybe they connect this point and then this point and then take the entry. Okay, so people do stuff like that, but in my opinion, that is completely wrong. Okay, just because you have 2 points, don't connect that. Okay, so that's wrong. See this? Most people will do this. Trust me, there are people out there doing that, but does it even look like a trend line? No, right? Very simple. Okay, so don't do this. Okay, this is the dumb shit, honestly. Okay, I don't know why people do this and why they even trust this, because these types of trend lines can be drawn from anywhere, right? So please don't do that. Do not do that. Just focus on the very basic trend lines that I showed you. Okay, so now let me show you some examples. And also, now this is the main thing that you should remember. The best trend lines, okay, remember, the best trend lines will always come from the origin points. By an origin point, I mean the origin point of a trend. That is where the best trend lines come from. Now I'll show you examples. Don't get confused. I'll show you examples. Okay. So yeah, now let's start with continuation trend line. Okay. It could be on any time frame. Okay. It could be on any time frame. I'll show you. Do we have anything here? Some continuation trend lines. I remember this H1 trend line we had up here. Look at this. Now, can you see that? This is the origin of this bearish move, right? This is the first resistance that created this huge bearish move. So if you connect 2 points from up here and then some other point, that is when you get the best types of trend. I'll show you examples. Okay, I will show you examples. Look at this one. I'm not cherry picking. Okay, it's always there. I'll show you. See that? Can you see? Now, this what you could do is not refine, use it with a key level. Can you see? You have to use it with a key level and also look at the timing. I always talk about time, right? 5:30 p.m. my time. See that? Now, this, of course, what you could have done here is, let me show you. Now, on the H4, we had the market doing something like this. Okay, let's say the market is building up liquidity and we have all that stuff. So above this, the next zone we have is this open close, right? We had an open close. Then what you could do is always go to the lower time frames and then see if you could do any refinements. Now, what do we have this? Now, this is on the H1. H4, this is an open close level. Can you see that? Let me get back to H4. H4 open close, right? This is an H4 open close. If you go to H1, that is SBR, right? This can be refined into the resistance, Now, let's say we did not draw any trend lines. And then the next thing you could do is mark out your timing. And also this is a news day. So if there is news during New York, we don't trust Asia and London. I will go through all that. Don't worry, okay? Because I don't want to make this a mess. If it's trend lines, we're going to talk about trend lines only. That's it. Okay. The next thing we need to do is focus on timing. Okay, because London has already opened. The next session that is about to open will be New York Hill Zone and then New York Open. Now, the next thing you need to do is see if there are any trend lines in line with these key levels that is above this liquidity at this time of the day, because you're expecting manipulations. Because we know that, right? If I hope all of you guys were SMC traders once. So if you were SMC traders, if you know ICT, you know how session openings does manipulations, right? We've seen it very clearly. Like London takes Asia gets taken out by London. This is the power of three, right? Accumulation and then manipulation and then distribution. Okay, so normally let's say we had Asia here. Say we had Asia here. Let's say we have a higher time frame key level here. Then what we should do is draw a trend line so that the timing is perfect. It's London kill zone or London open. So because we know that Asia will be taken out by London, so we have a trend line and a key level, so we could have faith in that level. Okay, something like that. Now look at this. We have this, and the next thing, like I told you, will be a trend line because right now I can't draw a trend line that is overlapping at London kill zone or London open, right? London has already opened. Look at this. That is when we find out a trend line like this. Now it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. Don't think the market is going to come here, or is the market is going to come here. No, it doesn't have to do that. Okay, it does not have to do that, but it could, but it doesn't have to do that all the time. Okay, so then what happens? Look at that. Look at the timing. Right at New York Open. Right at New York Open. Okay, then what you could do is take the sell, and then what happens? Boom, drops. Okay, so looks very similar, right? Even today now, right now, we had a break and retest trend line. Let me show it to you. Look at this. Okay, now I showed you this buy, right? I showed you this buy in here, how it came from this trend line. Now look at this sell. Where is it coming from? I hope it's from the trend line. Almost, almost. Can you see that? Break, retest. So that's why I told you the main thing will be key levels. Okay, SNR. So now the first thing we have here is this. Right? This is the first thing we have here. What is this? This is once again SPR. Right? Support broken, it turns into resistance. Then what you do is you draw a trend line. So you have this trend line being broken as well. So you could expect a retest. Didn't reach the trend line, missed it by a few pips, but that's okay. There comes the drop. Okay, there comes the drop. So I told you the main thing will be the trend line. Okay, the main not the trend line, sorry, key level. That will be the main thing. Okay, that will be the main thing. Now look at this one. Yeah, this one. This was yesterday, I think. Yeah, this was yesterday. We had two trend lines. Look at this. We had liquidity, right? We have some liquidity. This is the Asian high. Okay, of course we had news yesterday, right? I think let me see. We had news yesterday, I think. Yesterday was Monday, right? Oh no, yesterday was Tuesday. No, we did not have news. That's okay. Look at this. Now we have the Asian high, which was never manipulated. We have that, and then look at this trend line. Because why? This is where the trend started, right? This is where this downtrend started. I told you. Connect the dots here. We have this, and then on the H4, yeah, I love these types of setups. We had a break and retest trend line as well. Now, this might look a little bit off because they are on different time frames. Don't worry about that. See, H4, H1. Look at this. This is where it overlaps, right? This is where it overlaps. We have this resistance. Can you see this? Okay, we have all of this. Now, look what's going to happen now. I'm not even cherry picking stuff. Okay, these are trades that I took. Okay, so what happened? Look at that. Yeah, this was a good one. Now, let's not focus about this consolidation because I told you, right? Intraday, you need to pay yourself at 100 pips. So what is this? Look at this. From here, comes down here, 100 pips, and you're done. What more do you need, right? 20 pips stop loss, 100 pip target. That's a 1 to 5. That is what I do. Okay, so look at this. 20 pip target, and then 100 pips. I'm sorry, 20 pip stop loss and 100 pip target. There we go, 5%. Easy. Okay, so can do stuff like this. I'll show it to you. Okay, I'll show it to you. So that's that. Now you see this, right? You see how interesting these trend lines are. Okay, trend lines are very interesting if you know how to use it properly. Look at this. I can show you a lot of trend lines. What is this? Break. After the break, what happens? Retest. Break and retest. Boom. Moves up. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to H4. Spot some trend lines on the H4. Yeah, look at this buy in here. Okay, look at this buy, even this sell in here. Can you see that? See this? First, it was used as a support. That is why it pushed the market down. We had this in here. Can you say, like I told you, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect all the time. Sometimes it is perfect, so that's good. But if it is not perfect, that's okay. Just move on. That's it. Okay, look at this. We had a trend line. Okay, a continuation trend line. We had this open close. The market tapped, gave us a good rejection. That was over, yeah, that was 180 pips. And now what happened? It's broken, right? So once it is broken, it turns into what? It turns into a support, right? It turns into a support. So what happens? Look at this. If you use the same trend line, and maybe this RBS for an entry. Okay, look at this. Look how quick you get 100 pips. Okay, once again, look at this. These are the confirmation entries. Okay, look at this. Buying it here. Like I told you, what's that? This is how you can make 5% quickly. 20 pips stop loss, 100 pip target. See that? How soon is that? See, these are now most people tell you if you're trading
Why
on
don't
this.
you use the beginning of the trend line on the left side of the chart if you look at the
Which one?
4-hour chart? So why don't you use a point like higher? You start a trend line.
Like you mean
Now,
these zones?
yes, exactly. Why not there?
Now the thing is, now there's the thing. Can you see how this trend line once pushed price down? Can you see that? This trend line pushed the market down once, which means this trend line acted as a good resistance once. So once a good resistance is broken, it turns into a support. Okay, now those are stuff that will come to you with experience. Okay, so don't question, do not question. Just for now, just look at this. Okay, just focus on trend lines only. You will understand the deep stuff later. Like now, then that's the point. Now then we might be able to draw like tons of trend lines, right? One from here, one from here. See that? So then why not from here?
Yeah, exactly.
So don't do that. Okay, so for now, because you will understand this as time goes by, because this is in hindsight, right? All this in hindsight. So once it is in hindsight, then you can ask, okay, why aren't we using this? Why aren't we using this? Now, when the market is in here, let's say the market is in here, we had a key level in here, right? Now, if I can't draw it from the origin points up here, if it makes no sense, see the next, now let's look at this. The current market is over here. Okay, the current market is over here. Now, if it wants to get into the trend line, look how far away this is. This is the closest key level we have, right? This is the closest key level we have. And now, if the trend line, if the market wants to get here, this is not even confluence, right? This is some trend line that is not even close with the key level. That is why we need to adjust the zones. We need to see, okay, which one is going to work out. The best fit, we have this one, right? That is why we are going to use that. Okay, so very easy, very easy. I'm not going to give you the idea it is easy because it will take some time, but then again, there you go. See that? And then now look at this. It was once used as a resistance. Okay, that is why it pushed price down. But after it breaks, these are the best types of trend lines. The ones that were used as a resistance and then gets broken, they'll get used as a support. Okay, so I'll show you more examples like this, and then it's why we're using that. Can you see that? Okay, so stuff like that. You had 100 pips very easily. Okay, so I'll show you once we get into the backtesting sessions. Don't worry. Okay, you will understand this. Look at the drop. Nice. From right here. Because why? It's coming from a weekly zone. Weekly was bearish. Many people were confused with this buy, but yeah, you don't have to be confused because if you know the direction, look at this. You have, wow, 160 pips. Nice. So I took the buy. Now the sell. I had a buy in here. Yeah, how did this buy come actually? Look at this. Open close, right? I did not take it here though. I did not take it here. Like I told you, we had our confirmation entry. Okay, H4 closing above H4. And then if you go to H1 breaking open close level in here, right? H1 breaking the open close level in here. And then a new support created. Okay, now I'll explain all of these later. Okay, so this type of a confirmation entry that we do, and then boom, there it goes. Okay, so yeah, buying it, selling it, you can do all, but this entry in here, this is way deep than what I showed you now. Okay, because these were inside of higher time frame zones, inside of a weekly support. A weekly support is an obstacle for a monthly storyline. There are stuff that we need to go through, but I'll explain them. Okay, for now, I'll just stick to trend lines only. Okay, because yeah, I quickly run out of topics. So let's see. Let's see some more trend lines. Okay, let's see some more. I think we had a good one here. Nah, it wasn't used properly. Yeah, it was used as a support in here, another support in here, but yeah, never used as a support. Yeah, a resistance in here, but never used as support. That's okay. Look at this one. Look at this break and retest here. See that? Trend line broken, gets used as a resistance up here. Taps, starts around. Now I'm showing you the power of trend lines. Okay, I'm showing you the power of trend lines if you learn how to use it well. Look at this one. This is the origin of this drop, right? Look what happened after it was broken. See that? Trend line, broken. Look at this. Didn't even have any key level here. Can you see that? Just reacted to a trend line. See that? Did we have anything in here? No, nothing. Nothing. So obviously, if you go to daily, you wouldn't have anything in the middle of this, right? Nothing will be there. Look at this. Reacted off a trend line very nicely. See this? Yeah, that's why I told you now. Once you go into the lower time frames, it'll be a little bit off. Don't just think about that because this is the H1, right? We drew it on the H4. So it takes four H1 candles to make one H4 candle. Okay, so obviously the trend line will not be on the same zone. Okay, so don't confuse there. But you see this, right? Look at this. Taps, boom, starts to move. Now in here, we had some beautiful H1 trend lines as well. Let me show you. Yeah. See this? The start of this bullish move. Of course, now the market is here. Can you say, okay, this is the start of the move and then draw it like this? No. Okay, when the market is here, let me put the replay too so that way it's clear. When the market is here, and then if you want a trend line as confluence, now just because I told you, draw it from the origin of the point, and we think it's going to move down here itself. No, if you have zones here, you need to be flexible. Maybe draw it something like this. Here is the trend line I used. Look at that. Buy here, buy here. Yeah, on MT4 brokers, bought it here, bought it here. Can you see? And look at this after it's broken. Look at this, okay? It's broken, retest. Oh, can you see that? Okay, so I'm showing you the power of trend lines, not even with key levels. I'm just showing you the power of trend lines. You can see the accuracy, right? Look at this. Now, most people will underestimate trend lines. Even I did. Okay, not gonna lie. When I was using SMC, like you know that, right? We think, okay, everything trend line is liquidity. Yeah, trend line was liquidity if you used it properly, though, because yeah, I don't know how that happened, but yeah, but right now we know how to use it properly. We're doing it on, okay, of course, now remember we're drawing it only on the line chart, okay, not on the candlesticks, only on the line chart. Keep that in your mind, okay? Keep that in your mind. So look at this. We had this trend line perfectly, and even in here, if you want to spot the zones, no problem. Let me show you. Look at this. Why do we decide to buy here? Because the same logic. Can you see this open close level which was broken? Can you see how it was used as a resistance? One, two, three times. It's broken, turns into a good support. Can you see? It turns into a good support. And then after the rejection, we had another open close level left on the H4 in here. That's that. And then once again, yeah, I thought this might come here. Never got here. I'm trying to show you the levels that the market reacted from. And then if we draw the trend line, it becomes very clear. Let me show you. Now, if I draw this trend line, look how clear this is. Same trend line that I drew earlier. Can you see that? By here, look at the time. Look at the time. Time is important. Look at the time. 5:30 p.m. my time. I've showed that, right? New York Open. Right at New York Open. There we go. Boom. Confirmation after these rejections. There we go. Another one at 7:30 p.m. moves up. And then another one right here at 11:30 because there was FOMC this day. And then a move. Can you see that? So this is very important. Okay. Very, very important, especially continuation trend lines and then break. I'll look at the drop. Give me a second. Yeah, I need to pay myself at. Give me 1 second. Okay, I need to 1946.90. Okay, give me 1 second. 1946.90. Okay, so let's see. What else? We see some more. Let's see. I'm trying to show you some good trend lines. Okay. Yeah, look at these. This was a reversal trend line. Oh, not a reversal trend. There were two trend lines. I saw the reversal trend line first, not gonna lie. Okay, because trend lines aren't that easy to spot right away, to be honest. Okay, but I saw this reversal trend line. Let me show it to you. If I go to weekly, we had, yeah, it happened here. We had this weekly head and shoulder, and then that is when the reversal trend line. Yeah, something here. I think these 2 points, if I remember it. Yeah, I think these two were the points that we used. Yeah, there we go. Can you see that? The reversal trend line, weekly key level. Okay, timing wasn't that good. Timing was, of course, like, it was good though. Okay, because look at this. The move happened right at 12:30 p.m. my time. That is London Open. Okay, now once again, we had the same exact setup I showed you for the buy. Yes, no, like minutes ago. Look at this. H4 rejecting. This was also an H4 level. Can you see that this was also an H4 resistance in here? Can you see how H4 rejected that H4 level? And then if you go to H1, H1 breaks open close. Same thing. H1 breaks open close in here. So if it moves up here, there comes your next entry. Boom. Confirmation entries. Okay, that's our confirmation. I'll teach you that. I'll teach you that. Okay, so we're not gonna rush. I'll slowly teach you that. Before that, we need to master all of these. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, and also now for that same cell, in here, we also had this. What is this? Break and retest. Can you see that? We had this broken, turns into a resistance. Can you see the accuracy? Look at this. Turns into resistance and then it melts. Okay, now this is the thing. Now you might be wondering, okay, what time frame should I draw these trend lines on? Right now, yeah, I thought of that as well when I started with channel. Then I thought, okay, trend lines can be drawn on any time frame. The main thing is not a trend line, it's the key level. So once we find out the key level, then it's your job to start finding out your trend line. So you can start from the daily. If it's not on day, you could go to the H4. If it's not on the H4, you could go to the H1. Okay, so mainly for us, since we are intraday traders, our trend lines will mainly be on H4 and H1. Okay, H4 and H1, that is where our trend lines will mainly be. Okay, so you can, I'll show you. Okay, but it is even there on the higher time frames. Now, I did take this cell as well. This is only from a trend line. Okay, now this will take some time because look at this. If I draw a trend line from right here, can you see how many times? Yeah, if I connect these 2 points, I think was it here? Oh no, it was from here. Something like this. Can you see how the market was reacting to this level? Okay, the market kept reacting to this level. Broken. What is this? Acting as a resistance. Dropped. Okay, and then the buy once again from a break and retest trend line. See this? Daily trend line. Broken. Then it turns into what? Break and retest. There we go. Look at that. Taps, starts to move up. So it's everywhere. Okay, it is everywhere. I'm showing you all of this in hindsight, so that way you can quickly train your eyes as soon as you open the charts, right? As soon as you open charts, you can train your eyes. Look at this. Now, this buy in here. This buy worked out fine. What is this? This is the start of the trend on the daily time frame, right? You can connect the points. Look at this. Look at the sell in here. That is in line with the weekly level. See that? Can you see this? Okay, so we had this weekly SPR, we had the daily trend line, taps, starts to drop, broken, acts as what? Acts as a support. See that? Same trend line, broken, acts as a support. Look at this. Moves up, right? Moves up. And then, yeah, it fell from the same zone. Can you see? From the same weekly zone. So that happened. And let's see some more examples. So you get this, right? You see the accuracy of trend lines. Look at this weekly trend line, okay? Look at this. Weekly trend line, right? We had the weekly break and retest trend line. Now, like I told you, this will of course be hard to spot. Okay, these high time frame trend lines are a little bit hard to spot. That's that. And then we had these daily levels, or maybe these levels, because why this level? Can you see how many times it was used as a resistance? Once here, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. A good zone, right? You can even refine it to this RBS. Okay, you can even refine it into this RBS, and then we have these H4, not H4, we have this weekly trend lines as contours. So what happened? Not yet. Can you see how they missed it? Missed it completely. Okay, missed it completely. And then the next day, what happened? So comes right here. Look at the time. Look at the time when the market taps it. That's the most important thing. London open. London kill zone at 11:30 a.m. London session at 12:30 p.m. So there we go. Right at that time of the day. It taps. Can you see it? Taps. And then what happens? If I play price forward, boom. If I delete the key levels, can you see how precise the trend line is? And that's also a weekly trend line. Can you see that? Perfect, right? It's perfect. So if you master these trend lines, it'll be awesome. Okay, trust me, you will love it. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, look at this one. This was a very nice one. Okay. I couldn't take the trade though. I'll show it to you though. Look at this. Yeah, I did not expect a direct reversal like that. We had this level. Now, don't worry, don't worry. I did not expect the market will get here as well. So this is hindsight. I had the TL drawn though. I drew the trend line. Look at this. Can you spot any trend lines? What did I tell you when we have a huge break like this? Which types of trend lines will be there? I told you this one, right? I told you when we have huge breaks to use as counters, these are the trend lines we have. So look at this. Can you see that? Okay. Here, here, breaks, taps here. Okay, weekly level, and then this now. Trust me, I did not pay attention to this until did this. And then I used the trend line to enter once again. Open, close, broken. Okay, so after support is broken, it acts as a resistance, and then we had a trend line as confluence. Can you see that? Break and retest. See that? Break. Now, this is the thing now. I have trained my eyes to see trend lines all the time. So most of the time, I do not miss any trend lines. Okay, because like even my past students ask me when doing backtesting sessions, like how I draw trend lines that fast. Like I do the line chart and then I do draw the perfect lines. Okay, because it takes practice. It takes practice. I'll show you when doing the backtesting sessions, you will see that. Okay, I'm not even kidding. Look at this. We had this break and retest trend line. We had this open close level, and then confirmation entry. Can you see that? Look at the drop. Okay, so it's okay that you missed it here, right? Okay, and look at this. This same trend line. I use this same trend line for another cell. Let me show you. Let it go, let it go. Look at this. Yeah, of course, I did not have it drawn like this, and then I didn't think, okay, if it comes here, I'm selling again. No, it happened. It just happened. Let me show you. Not yet. Ah, there it comes. Can you see that? Can you see where the drop came from? Once again, from like I'm not even drawing any key levels. That's the main thing here. I'm only showing you trades from trend lines. You get that, right? So that's perfect. Now, this day I used, yeah, not gonna lie, I used one M30 trend line. Okay. Because it wasn't there on any time frame. Yeah, on H1 we had this that was broken, was also this H4 level. I'll explain all of this, don't worry. Okay, that is also an H4 level, and then yeah, this was also on the 30-minute time frame. You can do this though, but yeah, I don't prefer using M15 and M30. Break and retest. That's the best fit we had, like this. Okay, break and retest, and then that, and then that comes. Can you see that? Trend line. Let's read the key level. Even then you see the accuracy, right? Breaks, retest, drop. Okay, break, retest, drop. Like that's perfect. But just don't use that H1 M30 for now. Okay, don't use that for now. For now, later you can look at the drop. This could have been perfect, right? From this thing in here. Because why do I prefer using this now? Now some people will ask me, okay, some people will ask me, okay, why not use this break and retest trend line? Right? That's okay. You can use that, no problem. But the thing is, I told you, right? The best trend lines are the best killers, whatever it is. They are the ones that were once used as a support or resistance. Now, if I draw this trend line though, from here, can you see how this support was once used? I'm sorry, how this trend line was once used as a support in here? See that? Not once, twice. Even we could even count this, I think. And then after it's broken, that trend line looks better, right? Break, retest, key levels, a drop. Okay, so can you see how many pips that is? Look at that, 100 pips already. Okay, that's the thing about gold. That's awesome. Okay, if you understand the direction, if you know how to draw your trend lines and all that stuff, yeah, gold is the best to trade. Okay, so let's see. Let's see some more. So hopefully now you're getting it, right? Hopefully you're seeing the power of trend lines because most of us were brainwashed, right? Trend lines doesn't work. Like most people will tell you so many stuff. Trend lines are liquidity. Now, even I thought trend lines were liquidity, but we must be open-minded, right? If we see something working over and over and again, and if we had thoughts that it was a bad strategy or whatever to use, okay, just put that ego aside. Okay, just try practicing it. If it really works, yeah, that's awesome, right? Why not use that? Okay, just because you told something once, okay, just because you thought, okay, liquidity, but if you have learned to use it properly, so don't do that. So you need to be open minded. Now don't think okay trend lines were liquid. You said once trend lines were liquid. I did. I'll accept that anywhere because when I was trading SMC, I thought trend lines were liquidity. Not gonna lie. Okay, but then I saw the power of trend lines, and then Yeah, now I don't even use SMC. See, that's the thing. Okay, if you need to find out what works best for you, what's simple, and then what's less stressful and all that. Okay, yeah, look at this trend line in here. Here, of course, it wasn't properly used as a break and retest, but yeah, see, from the origin point here, here, and a buy here. See that? We had a support, we had this H4 level, taps, boom, flies. Can you say? So it's always there. The trend lines are always there. I think even in these areas, we did have trend lines, if I remember. Let me see. No, this thing never got here. That's okay. Let's see some more. Let's see. Yeah, this is now I was trading SNR for a while. Okay, I was trading SNR for a while, and uh, like like I told you now, for me it was messed up because I did not. Okay, I think the alarm just. Okay, give me 1 second. I'll have to take partials. Look at this. We're very close to the alarm. Give me 1 second. Okay, how many pips is this? That's enough. Okay, give me a second. Let me take partials. Oh, that's a crazy drop. Give me 1 second. Okay, so where were we? I was showing you some. We delete this now because we don't want that. Yeah, now these days was when I started with trend lines. Okay, because I knew trend lines, but I thought everything was messed up because I knew about trend lines. I knew a little bit of SNR. I knew a little bit of storylines, multi-time frames. So I didn't have a proper way to trade when I first started with SNR because there's no one to show me that. So that then I thought, okay, I'm gonna ditch trend lines for now. I'll only focus on key levels to work with key levels only, and then I'll let trend lines as control. So this I remember very well. This is the time when I started using trend lines properly. Now even these days I did use it, but most of the time it was luck. Okay, I was focusing on the key levels mainly, not on trend lines. Sometimes I drew proper trend lines, not all the time. Okay, but yeah, now this is when I started using trend lines properly, and yeah, i have I have proof as well, so no one can say it's lies. Okay, so yeah, had some crazy trades in here in these areas, yeah, in here and all that stuff. Now let me show you. Now, the reason why we chose those zones, I'll explain them later. Okay, I will explain them later. This was one. Okay, but yeah, before that, of course, let me just quickly show it to you. This cell was from this trend line. This is the one I used. Okay, this was from here. This was that cell, but I think I used something on the H1. Yeah, this cell was from this trend line, continuation trend line. Okay, and then resistance, we had all that stuff, and then timing. Can you see the timing? 11:30 a.m. my time. What did I tell you? What's that? 11:30 a.m. At 11:30 a.m. we have London kill zone, right? So right at London kill zone, look at that. Taps, melts. Okay, and then this one was also, I used the trend line here, but it wasn't perfect. But still, let me show you what I used. I used this. Wasn't perfect though. But yeah, there. Once again, it pushed price down. Okay, we had that, and then had this buy in here. I remember this very well because this when I started with trend lines, like I told you. Look at this. See, I told you, right? When we have a break with huge momentum, these are the types of trend lines we could use. I told that to you, right? Look at this. Moving up. Okay, moving up. But this was the cell I wanted to show you. Now we might, you might be confused, right? Because why we have so many zones here. We have this, we have this, we have this. Then the best thing you should do is you need to know how to filter it out. Okay, so that is why we do the multi-time frame analysis. If I put it here at the start of the week, what did we have? We have this support that was broken, right? Open close on the weekly. Okay, open close on the weekly. And then yeah, it didn't tap into this open close. Okay, it did not tap into the open close because we had daily zone in here, which was a powerful zone since it was used as a support once. Can you see that? This level pushed price up once, and then it could, yeah, then we know there are chances of it getting used as a support, right? We know that. And then look at this. Then what we should do is draw trend lines, right? I drew two trend lines if I remember. I think the first one was here. Yeah, from the bottom zone. And the second one was here. Yeah, I think it was this. Okay, look how perfect this is. Look how perfect this is. Hmm. Can you see that? The power of the trend lines and the key levels, all of it. Okay, so perfect, right? Look at this. We had this. Now, once again, you might be wondering, okay, why not draw it from the origin point? Why? Because if I draw it from the origin point, it is not in line with these high time frame key levels, right? That's why I told you the key level comes first, and then comes everything else. Okay, then comes your trend lines and whatever. Okay, now let's see if we draw it from this origin point, if we got a move. I didn't check that out. Oh, almost. Okay, did not reach there. Okay, that's okay. Now look at this. The next day, let's say you could not take any entries here. Okay, let's say you were not able to take an entry here. Okay, let's say since there were many zones, you were confused. No problem. What you could do is pay attention to this. Daily rejects daily. Okay, H4 also gives us an open close break in here, a hint that the market wanted to move down. Now, once we talk about storylines, you will see how in this area, anyway, weekly was bearish. So what they were doing was they were reaching into some this was only a pullback into another weekly level that is already done. Even this pullback was from a weekly trend line. Let me show you. Not even kidding. Okay, look at this. What's that? A break and retest, right? A break and retest trend line. And if you go to H4, see that? Where did the buy come from? Trend line. Okay, from the trend line. Now, I'm only showing you the power of trend line so that now, because I know most people were SMC traders. Okay, and then I don't know, I had this with the other batches as well, with the other month batches. Now, most people did not want to trust trend lines. So I'm showing you the power of these trend lines, okay, just to show you that you can use them. You can always use them. Yeah, you can always use it as a good confluence. Okay, so that's that. And then this day, what happened was, I was honestly thinking, okay, as soon as Friday is Friday, as soon as the market opens, Asia might mess around, London might do a manipulation into this resistance. That is what I thought. But then Asia made a break. Okay, Asia made a break, created a new resistance, right? A new resistance was created. Then what I wanted to see was if there is a trend line overlapping with this resistance at the right time of the day. Now, of course, at 4, now, I did not draw the, now, I'll have to be honest with you, okay? I did not draw the H4 trend line right away. The reason I drew it was because of this. Now, I'm monitoring price action now. I do not trade Asia. Okay, I do not trade Asia. I always wait for Asia to win. I trade during London Kill Zone, London Open, and New York Kill Zone and New York Open mainly. I trade at other times of the day, but yeah, the best times to trade will be these times. Okay. Now I was looking at price action. I did not even choose this resistance right away. I'll show you the reason why I chose that. I was looking at price action. Now I start trading at this time of the day, 11:30 and 12:30. That is London Kill Zone and London Open. So when the market was reaching here, can you see it? Right before that time of the day, a swing high was created. A swing high is what? Liquidity is fed into this zone, right? Liquidity is being fed into this zone. And that is when I wanted to draw the trend line. Then if I go back to the H4, now I want to see, okay, for me to trust this level, I need to say, okay, are there any trend lines overlapping with this key level at London Kill Zone or London Open? Then saw this, perfect. Can you see it? And then if I go to H1, yes, this H1 TL trend line as well. Okay, now there can be many break and retest trend lines that you could draw. It could be this, right? It could be this, or else maybe, because we have so many trend lines into the same level. And I think I drew it from somewhere here. Can you see that? So all these trend lines overlapping, all these H4 key levels, liquidity below it, timing, everything is perfect. Then what happens? Right at 11:30. See that? I can't make this up, right? You can see that very clearly. Taps right at London Kill Zone, 11:30 a.m. my time, and then see that? Can you see the power of that trend line? Look at that. We call this the EQ point in case if you didn't know. Okay, when two trend lines overlap, we call it the EQ point. I don't know who made that name. I don't know if that is true or not. Okay, but yeah, someone told me they call it that EQ point. The name isn't, it's not even necessary, right? If you didn't know that, who cares, right? You know that the two trend lines are overlapping there. Look at that. Look at the drop. Okay, so that is easy 100 pips. See that? 100 pips. Just like that. And then I think this day I took another sell. Was it using this trend line? I think so. This trend line and this resistance, I think. I don't remember very well. Let's see. I think not this one. I drew some trend line. I don't know if it was perfectly there. I think it was this level. Yeah, maybe this was the level. H4 resistance and then this continuation trend line wasn't perfect. That's okay. Like I told you, it doesn't have to be perfect. If it is perfect, that's good, but it's not a must that it should like overlap with the key level at the exact time of the day. No, it's not a must. Okay, if you can find out a trend line like that, that's good, but it's not there all the time. Okay, so you need to be very flexible. Don't always think, oh, this trend line is not going to work because this way it overlaps with the key. No, it's very close by, so it could still work like that. See that? Something like this. So let's say you use this level. Okay, right? There we go. Something like this. That's that. Okay. And also, let me show you some more. So always there. Okay, now we talked about all types of trend lines, right? I'll show you reversal trend lines as well. Now, like I told now, I don't want you to put a lot of time focusing on reversal trend lines, the reversal trend line breakouts. Oh, let me take this out. Okay, so don't focus a lot on these reversal trend lines. This one, or this one, or maybe the reversal trend line break. Okay, don't focus on a lot on these. Focus more on continuation trend lines and break and retest trend lines. So yeah, you'll see why. Okay, and look at this one, had this Y as well. See that? Look at this. And this is yeah, this was the daily key level, I think. Let's go to daily. Yeah. The level that I showed you for the sell. Yeah, this level. Can you see it? Daily open close and the H4 trend line. Can you see how perfect that is? Taps, shoots up. Okay, so we had that. We had that. And let's see. I'm trying to show you as many examples as possible so you will understand this properly. Let me see. Let me see. It's always there. Okay, now there are trend lines in all this price section. I'm trying to show you some perfect ones. That way you will understand it properly. I think there was this break and retest trend line in here. I think so. I don't remember. Yeah, even this one. Yeah, this one. If I draw it from somewhere here. Yeah. See that? The sell in here, or else, of course, I did not expect this break and retest trend line. I just saw it right now. I used this trend line for this sell though. Look at this. Trend line breaks, acts as a resistance, which is in line with this open close. See that? Taps, starts to drop. Okay, that is how you could use it as a confluence. Okay, that's the way you could use it as a confluence. Okay, look at this one. This buy in here. I think I showed it to you last week, right? During the last session. Let me just put the replay tool here. Yeah, look at this. Weekly open close. That's been broken because once a resistance is broken, it turns into a support, right? I told that to you. And then defining it into these. And then the trend line that I found out was this one. Yeah, this is the one I think. Of course, I did not have it drawn right away. Only when the market was somewhere close by, I drew this. There's no point of drawing it right away, right? What if the market goes here? So should I have to keep like draw the zone and then keep waiting until the market go there and comes there? No. If the market comes close by, then you need to see if this level has a confluence into it. So what happens? Look at that. Almost came there. Okay, and then there it goes. And then I think we had the break and retest trend line here perfectly. Can you see that? Okay, taps into the weekly zone, break structure, comes back down. We had a support. We had a break and retest trend line perfectly. Then what happens? Taps and boom. Can you see that? So you see this, right? The power of SNR and TL. It's unbeatable. Okay, that is why if you know dear are the gold digger, she always say like when someone asks, and if you ask her what her trading style is, she'll tell you SNR, TL, multi-time frame. Okay, so SNR we already know. Trend lines now I'm showing you. And when it comes to multi-time frame, it'll be crazy, like how we sync all the time frames and all that stuff. So you know when to expect huge moves. You will know, of course, I did not expect this. Okay, but yeah, sometimes you'll know when to expect huge moves. You will know When the market is slow, you'll know when the market is about to consolidate. You'll know all of that. Okay, when we know how to use the time frames properly. Okay, well, I'll show that to you one by one. Just like I told you, I do not, because I fell in that trap because I did not have anyone to teach me. Now I'm showing you, I'm showing you all this so you could avoid all the mistakes that I did. Okay, so like I told you, all you have to do is just follow the instructions I'm giving you. Okay, don't just watch sessions, do the practicing as well. But yeah, just follow the instructions. Okay, look at this one. Hmm. Look at this. I think this is the best trend line I saw so far. Look at that. No drawdown. See there? Just perfect. Taps, moves up right away instantly. Okay, so we had that. Let's see. Let's see some more. Look at this one. This was from break and retest. See that? Look at that. Taps. No key levels here. Can you see that? Nothing. Where did the exact reversal come from? Daily trend line. Taps. Starts to move down. Okay, then it starts to move down. There's many. I'll show you. You see how interesting this is, right? Hope everyone's interested in this because no one's asking questions or anything. So hope everything is clear. Yeah, look at this one. Don't know if I drew it properly. I am. Look at that. In here, breaks, acts as a support. Of course, you would have got stopped out here because of the drawdown, right? And even in here, we had this trend line. I think this one. I think it was for this one. See that? We made a huge drop. See, with momentum, came back up, started moving down, back into the trend line, starts to move down. Okay, so very important. These trend lines are very, very important, especially pay a lot of attention to H4 and H1 trend lines. Okay, you will love that. Okay, look at this. Did I show you this? SPY. And even this SPY. I think even currently the market is reacting to the same trend line. Do you know where the trend line is? See that? Look at this. The start of this bullish move. This way it started, right? This way it started. So which means these 2 points will be good zones, right? Good points for entries. Like this. So now if you go here, yeah, like I told you, even currently the market is reacting to that trend line. Look at that. Here, here. Can you see that? Can you see how good it is when you draw it from the origin points? Now, no one would even notice this, right? No one would even notice this, but I told you that from the origin of the from origin of these trends, that is where you should draw a trend line. Okay, the best trend lines come from those areas. Okay, now in these areas too, we had some good trend lines, if I remember. Okay, now I've showed you, right? Now I showed you all of these. I've shown you. Oh, I haven't shown you reversal trend lines, right? I think I only showed you one or two. Look at this one. See that? Like you can check out my channel. Like if you doubt this, I have all these entries. Look at that. Trend line breaks, retest, sell. Okay, and then I think I got this one as well. Look at that. Can you see that? From a trend line? Uh, let's see. I'm trying to show you some hindsight, good examples. Yeah, in here, use the weekly trend line, not weekly, an H4 trend line. Of course, like I told you, I did not plan it right away. Okay, did not plan it right away. What I did was I saw the market coming there. That is when I used it. That's it. Okay, because no one can draw a trend line, a key level, and then say, ah, okay, this is where the market is going to react to. I don't know if there's anyone who can do that. I can't. Okay, so I saw the market coming here, stopping above it, right here. I think I used this, if I remember properly. No, not this one. I think something up here. Yeah, I don't know. When the price was reaching that, that is when I used it. There it comes. Can you see it? Right from the trend line. This level, of course, you could have refined to some zone. Okay, always make sure you look for some refinements. Here on the H4, we didn't have any. Let's check. I don't even remember. Maybe on H1, we might have had something. Let me see. Where are we? Okay. Oh, we can't go there. Let's go that. Okay, let's go to H4, H7. And look at this. This is a reversal trend line, right? That's a reversal trend line. I don't draw a lot of these, so I don't remember. Okay, I'm only showing you the ones that I do remember. Look at this. Oh, see that? From a reversal trend line. Okay, so now these trend lines aren't even important. Okay, if it's confusing you, just skip that. Completely ditch it. Okay, no problem. I'm just showing you because some people, like, there are some people. Now let's say this trend line wasn't there. Now I showed you this trend line, right? Was it this one? No, from the top. Now I showed you this trend line, right? Let's say this trend line wasn't there. Then I told you your last option would be reversal trend lines, right? I told you your last option could be reversal trend lines. Now most people, like, let's say I didn't teach it to you. Let's say I didn't teach you about reversal trend lines and there were no continuation trend lines. Then they will lose faith in this zone. They'll think, okay, there are no trend lines into this zone as well. So let me not take that, and then you will miss it. So that's why I'm teaching you all types of trend lines. If this is not there, if you couldn't spot this, you didn't want to move all the way here to draw a trend line, no problem. Stick to current price action and then draw a trend line like this, because the main thing here is the key level. This key level is a strong one because it was in line with the weekly zone as well. So all we do is we try to see if there is a trend line supporting that key level. That's all we need to do. So you see, there are two trend lines that you could have drawn. This one and then this one. Was it this? Was it this? Oh, this one. See that? There are two trend lines that you could have drawn like this. Can you see that? So that's completely up to you. Like, just because you use this one and another guy use this one doesn't mean this is wrong. Okay, doesn't mean this is wrong. You could use any. You could use any. But me, of course, I'm not gonna use this. I will use this one. Okay, I trust this move. I trust this move. Okay, so that's that. And then now, if you see, like, I don't know if you have, if you know, if you guys know about Dear the Gold Digger, you will see how all
Do
her
you do
entries.
you
Yeah.
do you use that double trend line as double confluence then,
No, no,
or
no, no, no.
just
If
use
yeah, just
only?
yeah, doesn't, I don't use it as a double confluence or anything. I'll just, if it's there, it's there. That's it. Okay, so I don't even pay a lot of attention to that. If it is there, it's just there. Very simple. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because sometimes now, if you, yeah, that's the thing. I don't want to give you those false ideas, okay? Because most people, they just draw trend lines like this into some wrong zones and then wait their whole lifetime until it comes here. It doesn't have to do that. That's the thing. Okay, if it is there, it's just there. That's it. If it's not there, don't even think about it. Okay, very simple. Because like I told you, the main thing you need to focus on is SNR, which means key levels, not trend line. Okay, so if it's there, it is there. If it's not, ditch that. You don't want trend lines. That's it. Okay. Now, like I told you, if you know Dear the Gold Digger, okay, she's the one that has mastered this Malaysian SNR thing. Okay, yeah, she's amazing. So I have seen her entries as well. So all her entries are mainly with TL's SNR and TL confluence. Okay, like she has some entries here from this break and retest trend line, right? Something like this. Okay, so yeah, if you see her screenshots, you will see how she buys here, and on this same day as she buys, she calls out, like, and that was done live on Instagram when she had her Instagram. Okay, so she takes the buy here. The next day she calls out that this buy will close at 1350, I think. 1350, something like this. Yeah. 1340, something like, on the same exact day as she's taking the buy, she calls out the price level for the reversal, which means this trade was a well planned 1400 pips. And do you know what her lot size is? She used, I think, a 40 standard in here. Okay, 440 standard lot size. Okay, so imagine the money. That's like millions in one trade. Okay, but she says that it was tough for her to hold it from here to here. Okay, maybe she has master storylines and all that stuff. I can't do that, to be honest, because my psychology isn't that good. Okay, but she did that. Okay, so yeah, a 40 standard from here until here. So until it reaches there, she had her entries. Okay, she bought it with every dip. Okay, she bought it as soon as it dropped. As soon as the market comes down, she looks for a buy entry. Okay, she looks for a buy entry, and yeah, like, even these were from trend line. See, look at this. The buy here, her buy was actually perfect in here. I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know where she took that. But that's okay. Yeah, I think this open close. These areas. Okay, yeah. She had a buy here, another buy here. Look at this from a trend line, and after that was broken, she had a sell here. That also I backtested, and that was from this trend line. See that? So yeah, she's amazing. Okay, so this is the thing. You need to. I'm not trying to show off or anything. I'm showing you the power of these trend lines. Okay, you need to trust them more. You need to trust them more, especially now. These daily, weekly, monthly trend lines, they are for position traders, for swing traders, and all that stuff. Now we are trading intraday, right? Which means I know most of you guys are sitting in front of the chart the whole day. Okay, even I do that sometimes. Then the way you can't just draw daily and weekly trend lines, right, to take intraday trades. Yeah, you get the point. Okay, so what you should do is draw H4 and H1 trend lines. Okay, because we don't use the lower time frame. So try messing around with these time frames with trend lines and killers. Oh, look at the drop. Yeah, 250. Perfect. Okay, so we have that. Okay, so remember now, if since you are intraday traders, pay more attention to H4 and H1 trend lines. And also, let me make it clear: when I say pay more attention, don't think these are the only two time frames. Okay, no, these it could be on higher time frames, but since you're starting, I don't know if you are like brand new for this SNR thing. If you are, that's okay. Like if you now for now, what you should do is just mess around. Now you know key levels. Now you know trend lines. Now I showed you how to relate it with time, right? I showed you how to draw trend lines that are good with timing as well. So now what you should do is now your job to do is go to the charts and then see how the market plays out. Yeah, this is how you could backtest. Okay, I know now maybe if you are starting, it might be a little tough for you, right? Right now, it might be a little tough for you to right away do all that stuff. Okay, that is why I'm going one topic at a time, so that way you do not get confused. Okay, so now what you should do, this is what you should do. This is what I want you to do. Okay, just go to the H1 because on the H4, of course, you can't see the times properly because it takes 4 hours to make one candle, right? So this, if you go to H1 now, the founders say that these are the best time frames, H1 and H4, because they say that these time frames aren't fast and these time frames aren't slow, so they are well balanced time frames. Okay, so that's true. That's very true. I love these time frames. Okay, so you can stay out of a lot of losses if you use these time frames, because once we go into the backtesting sessions, you will see how important the H4 and the H1 time frame is, especially for intraday trades, for confirmation entries and all that. Okay, so sorry, I'll show that to you. Okay, now what was I telling you? Okay, okay. Now what you should do is maybe just find an indicator or something that shows London kill zone and London times. Just draw this. Okay, this is how I practice. Okay, not even like this is how I practice. Just maybe draw some. I do not use any indicators. Just draw some vertical lines on London kill zone, London open. Okay, and then a New York kill zone
Sorry,
and
can
New York
you state your landing killer zone and then the landing opening for us?
timing.
Yeah, the timing.
Okay, yeah. So for me, this is what's the month? This is June, right? Yeah. So right now for me, London kill zone is at 11:30 a.m. IST. That is the Indian Standard Time. I'm in the Indian. I'm not from India. I'm from Sri Lanka. But yeah, I'm in the Indian Standard Time. So 11:30 a.m. my time. That is London kill zone. 12:30 p.m. my time. That is London session. Now, can you see right at 12:30 p.m. even today they've made a reversal. Can you see that? They made a reversal to the upside. Okay, and even this buy in here. Then New York kill zone is at 4:30 p.m. New York session is at 5:30 p.m. See now, if you trade at this time of the day, you will always get in on the best entries. Look at this. If you found out where this reversed from, good. I did not. Okay, so that's that. But look at the time it made the reversal, 12:30. Okay, and then New York kill zone, New York open once again. Can you say 5:30? Another huge move to the upside. Okay, so those are the best times to trade. So remember, 11:30 a.m. my time. That is I mean that like I told you IST Indian Standard Time. You can maybe go to Google and then do a translate like convert it to your time. Okay, so 11:30, 12:30. That's London Kill Zone, London Open, and New York Kill Zone is at 4:30. New York session is at 5:30. Now, what I want you guys to do is okay, find if you can find out an indicator. Yeah, I think a student of mine from the previous batch has made an indicator that indicates London Kill Zone and London Open. I'll see if I can get it. I'll send it to you. Now, what you should do is just pick some random dates, okay? Whatever day it is, whatever you want to. Let's say, let's just say something in here. Okay, let's say something in here. Just draw some vertical lines at London kill zone. Yeah, these days, of course, yeah, it differs. Okay, the timing will differ when there is a shift in daylight savings time and all of that. So that's okay. Okay, so we had 12:30 and 1:30, that is London Kill Zone and London Open. And then 5:30, 6:30, that was New York Kill Zone and New York Open when there was daylight savings time, I think, like this. Okay, now this is what I wanted to do. Just draw some vertical lines on this timing, session opening, session kill zones, and session timings, and then see where it reversed from. Let's say maybe here, just a hindsight example. Let's say here or maybe here. Then what you need to do is see if there are any trend lines in line with this key level at this time of the day. Maybe this thing, no, this thing, maybe let's try to see if there are any trend lines in line with these key levels. Okay, something like this, in line with these key levels at this time of the day, something like this. Okay, so if I put the replay tool here, this is how it should look like. So when you keep doing this, you will see how, yeah, all the time the best moves, the reversals, the continuations, the best setups are always played out at this time of the day. London Kill Zone and London Open, New York Kill Zone and New York Open. Okay, so that is what I want you guys to do now. Just go, if you want, just go to the daily, weekly, or monthly, and then mess around and then see how trend lines, how good it works. And also it works on any pair. Okay, not only gold, don't worry. Okay, yeah, because if you go to my Instagram page, you will see on my latest post that how I have used I think even M15 and M30 trend lines for to trade GBP, USD, and Euro USD. You can see that if you go to my Instagram page. Okay, that's there. But now what I want you guys to do is, yeah, you can, whatever pair it could be, I don't mind. Okay, so do it that way. Okay, just first do this in hindsight. Okay, don't put the, if you have the replay tool, that's good, but don't right away use the replay tool, because first thing you need to do is you need to understand what you're looking at, right? You need to understand what you're looking for. Okay, so like I told you, just draw two vertical lines at London Key Zone, London Open. Now it's New York Key Zone and New York Open. See where it reacted to, and then see where the trend lines are. Okay, you'll see there's always a good trend line at that time of the day and all that stuff. Okay, because rather than just drawing random trend lines, no, do it that way. Okay, you will love it, trust me. Okay, so yeah, that's it about the trend lines. Do you guys have any questions? Let me know. Hope that was clear. Okay, and like now, if you guys were not into trend lines, now do you see the power of the trend lines? You see that, right? The very precise, very precise. Okay, so you must trust them now. Okay, because that'll be I'm not saying this is not even the trend lines aren't even like 20% of our trading style. Okay, because the main thing will be direction, high time frame direction, that is by storylines, and then multi time frame. That will be the main thing. SNR, trend lines can be used for direction, but yeah, mainly as a confluence. Okay, mainly as a confluence, but it will be used as direction. I'll show you later, because it gives you early hints. Because sometimes storylines doesn't start, but a trend line breaks, then you know, okay, a storyline is about to start. Okay, if that makes sense. Okay, so stuff like that, I'll explain all of that. Do not worry. Okay, I will explain all of that. So hope this was clear. Let me know, like, was this clear? Do you guys have any questions that I need to go through? Let me know.
Brother, I think
Yes.
I've noticed a lot of reversals during the London closing kill zone as well, which
Yes.
starts from 7:30 IST.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do we need to pay attention to that kill zone as well, or like only the New York and London?
London close kill zone? I didn't
Yeah,
know.
like the 7:30. Even the sell that started today started from 7:30 IST.
Yeah, you can pay attention to that. Okay, you can pay attention to that, but the main times will be 11:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m. because you see now, yeah, more than this, the New York Open and New York session, those are the time. Now the thing is, time isn't. We're not gonna pay a lot of attention to time. It's good. It's good to pay attention to time, but then again, you can trade at any time of the day. Okay, this is not limited to London Q zone or London session and all that stuff. You can trade at any time of the day. These are just stuff that I find high probability. That is why I'm showing you. Okay, now, doesn't mean that you need to pay attention to these times as well, because the best moves, most of the time, it happens at London Q zone and London Open. Okay, so today it happened at this time of the day. That's okay. You can still take the trade. Even I'm on the trade, but I'm showing you. Just pay more attention to these for now, since you guys are starting. You will love this, okay? Because you will always get in on the best setups then. Okay, that is why I want you to pay attention to that. Okay, was that clear? Hope that was clear. Okay, awesome. So yeah, anything else? Let me know.
Yeah,
About
bro,
that.
do you
Yeah.
always use fixed stop loss, like 20 pips?
No, not fixed. Okay, not fixed, to be honest. It depends. Okay, it depends on the type of setup. Like if I'm taking a trade from a weekly or as a higher time frame level, what I do is I refine it to the nearby lower time frame levels. Like let's say, for example, we had a weekly level here. then I refine it to the H4, and then I also keep in mind that there is another zone in here that the market could reach. Then what I do is, that is when I determine my stop loss. Okay, which zone am I going to take the sell from? Okay, I'm going to take the sell from this zone. Then I also know that there is another zone up here that the market could reach, so I'm going to place my stop loss above that. But my stop loss is always in between 20 to 30 pips. Okay, because don't think, oh, 30 pips stop loss. Okay, so don't worry, because your target is always more. If it's a 30 pips stop loss, your target is going to be more than 100 pips, which will give you at least a 1 to 4 minimum. Okay, but don't think about that. But yeah, now my stop loss, it depends. It completely depends. Like I told you, if I'm trading from the high time frame zones itself, it'll mainly be 25 pips. It'll mainly be 25 pips. If I'm getting confirmation entries like this will be only 20 pips. Okay, so I'll show all of this stuff when we are doing the backtesting sessions. Okay, don't worry, I'll show you everything. Okay.
All right. Thanks,
okay. Cool. So anything else?
You also use the elongated trend line. Does it seem to work best, or
Which one? Which one?
your trend line seem to go through the charts?
I don't get it. What's that? Trend line seems to?
Because it's from the line chart, I think.
Yeah, it's from the line chart. Okay, it's from the line chart. See, everything you do must be from the line chart. Don't forget that. Okay, so yeah, if I draw a trend line like this.
No. Like as you have drawn the trend line, you see it went to the corner. You don't see the end of it.
Like this one, was it this one? Which trend line are you talking about?
Just draw one and I will show you, please.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can see the starting of it, but we can't see the ending.
This
Does
is
that particular, does it fit
No.
best or?
No. Okay, so the reason I use this ray thing is because now if I use a normal trend line, okay, the first point will be exactly on the closing price, but this thing, see, like if I close the magnet tool, okay, like I'll have to keep fixing this thing. Okay, that is why I use this ray. So that way, if I put the magnet tool, I have 2 points exactly to put it on like this. So the third point will be an edge. So this don't even think about this. Okay, this is nothing. I'm just using this instead of this trend line. Okay, because it's precise than drawing a trend line, because see the trend line, it might shake and then it might
that's
not be
true.
accurate. Okay, that is why I'm using the ray. Okay, so there's no other reason. Okay, don't think about that. Okay, so anything else that I need to go through? Let me know. No, hopefully it's clear now. Please do the backtesting. Now,
Time
I
to
saw some.
practice.
Yeah. Please practice. Okay, now you see the power of these trend lines, right? Once we do the backtesting sessions and all that, you will see how cool this is. Okay, you will see how cool this is. So please do the backtesting. Okay, now, yeah, most of you guys have understood SNR, like the key levels very well now. Okay, the key levels very well. Now it comes to the trend lines. So the next session will be for the direction. And after that, yeah, these 3 sessions will be more than enough for you to take entries. But don't worry, I'm not going to stop. Okay, just because I told that I'm not going to stop with the sessions. We will continue with the sessions. But like I told you now, once we talk about storylines with the direction, you don't want anything else. Okay, that's all you need. Storyline. First, you look for the storyline. Then you look for the entry points. Then you wait for the timing. Then you draw the trend lines. You can decide if you're going to do confirmation entries. I'll show you how to do the confirmation entry, my favorite type of confirmation. Or else you can decide if you are going to do a direct entry. Okay, so we will go through all of that. Just bear with me. This will be awesome. Okay, so please practice. Please practice. I want you guys to practice this very well. Okay, practice this very well. And then, yeah, let's have fun. Okay, so hopefully this was clear. That's it for today. Okay, I'll tell you guys the time for the next session. But before the next session, please make sure you backtest all of this. Okay, now don't just draw trend lines everywhere. Try to see how you could make it so that it is overlapping with the key levels, like I told you, at the right time of the day. Okay, at the right time of the day, rather than just drawing random trend lines. That's the best thing to do. Okay, so yeah, guys, then
Will
that's
the next
it for
session
today.
be this week?
Yeah.
Next
No,
week?
I'll not be home this weekend. Maybe on Monday or Tuesday. Okay, Monday or Tuesday we will have the next session. So you have around 4 or 5 days to backtest. Okay, and then we will do a session about storylines. Okay, the storyline session will be
Perfect.
awesome. Yeah, it'll be long as well. Okay, but yeah, it'll be good. I can trust you there. Okay.
Yeah,
So
bro.
yeah,
One last question. How
Yes.
many sessions more is there
we will
in
have.
the whole
Don't worry,
curriculum?
don't worry. Okay, now we will have sessions like I told you. Now this is like a lifetime subscription. Okay, sometimes like I'm not going to tell you I'm going to stop this after completing storyline sessions. No, what I do is right now what I do is I combine January and February batches and then do sessions together. Okay, so that way no one is left behind. So I always do at least one session to each batch. Okay, so don't worry, because January started 6 months ago and we're still doing sessions. Okay, so the same thing I'll do with you guys as well. So don't worry, I'm not gonna take your money and then do 4 sessions and then left you no. Okay, so I'll be there. I'll always answer the questions. We will always have sessions. We'll do sessions in different ways as well, because if you guys are willing to show your screen and then back test, yes, we can do that. Okay, we can do all of that. So don't worry. Okay, I'm not gonna like dump you guys. Okay, so we will continue sessions. Okay.
Yeah.
And we will have each other in the
yes.
Discord.
Yes. Okay, and also keep the group as active as you can. Okay, so because some groups after a while it gets boring. Okay, because most people what they do is like once they master this, they just keep it to themselves. Like some people learn fast, some people learn slow. So don't be selfish. Okay, if you are learning fast, still share it, and if you are still not good at it, just be open with it. Okay, tell us. Okay, maybe if I don't reply in time, even if someone else has understood it well, even they will reply. Okay, so don't keep stuff to yourself. Just try to communicate within the group. Okay, because I'll always answer as well. Everyone else will answer as well. So keep it active. Okay, keep it active. So because we're all here, we're learning together, right? So yeah, it's good to do that. Okay. So yeah,
All right. Thanks so
anything
much, bro.
else? Awesome, bro. So then that's it for today.
Thank you.
Awesome, bro. If
Thank
you
you, bro.
guys have anything else, just
Thank you. Thank
okay.
you.
Awesome.
We appreciate it.
Awesome,
Confusing, but
Yes.
we'll practice and get back.
yes, practice. Okay, you need to practice a lot. Okay, make sure you, as soon as you open the charts, you see your trend lines. That's the main thing. Okay, trend lines and the key levels. Now, I know you guys can see the key levels, but trend lines, of course, it'll take some time. Okay, so it'll take time. Don't think you can do this in 1 or 2 weeks. Some people can. Like as soon as we finish the storyline thing, some people will directly get into entries and do all that. Not that's okay. Okay, but some people might struggle. That's still fine, because like you know this, right? Forex, like trading is not a get rich quick scheme. Okay, it'll take time. Okay, because some people can be profitable but not consistently profitable. Like what we need is consistency, right? We don't want to make profit today so that we can get lunch tomorrow. No, we need to be like long term. We need to be consistent long term. Okay, so that is why we do this. So give it some time. Give it some time. It will pay you very well. Okay, it will pay you very well, because like sometimes there are days when you like sometimes there are like I've stayed like 1 whole week without pulling the trigger, because I don't know where to pull the trigger from. Like I don't know where the setups are. Normally when there are consolidation, like sometimes consolidations will last very long. Like here, this whole week, trust me, this whole week I couldn't trade because I didn't find out my setups. Okay, I did take a trade here. This was on a new week though. Monday happened, and then Tuesday, like Asia created liquidity. We had days, and I did take here. But other than that, no like trades were taken here, because yeah, I couldn't find one. Okay, and also like when it is in a consolidation, I think it's better to stay out of the market. Okay, so stuff like that. So I'll show you all of it. Okay, I will show you all of it. So that's that. Okay.
Okay, bro, do you still
Yeah.
trade prop firms or just your own
Yeah,
personal?
now this is what I do. Okay, now for high risk setups, now for example, let's say this is a high risk setup. For example, let's say this is a high risk setup, because this is from a weekly zone. So we do not know how much the drawdown is going to be. So what I personally do is these types of trades, I'll be placing them on my personal accounts. Okay, you guys can also open personal account, but for now, just stick to a demo. Okay, but after we finish all the concepts, after the backtesting sessions, you will know what to do at the start of every month, week, and day. Then you can start your personal accounts. Okay, but now what I do is these types of entries. Now I do not know how much my drawdown is going to be, right? Because it could move here, it could even move here. So these types of trades will be placed on my personal account. Okay, because there are 3 types of setups. It could be high risk setups, medium risk setups, and then low risk setups. Okay, so high risk and then medium risk, these will be placed on my personal account. Okay, but low risk, this will be on my personal account and the prop firm account as well, because if it's low risk, which means you are a little confident about it, right? You know that it is going to run your way. So which means the drawdown is also like very minimal, right? You're not going to get a lot of drawdown. So those are the types of trades that you can place on the prop firm accounts. Now, if you have any ideas of passing challenges with this method, now I'll show you the confirmation entries. Please stick to the confirmation entries if you are going to pass challenges. Okay, because with these types of setups, now you might think, oh, I could have taken the sell here. This could have I could have passed my challenge with this. That's 300 pips. No, because But after it's gone, you can say, oh, I could have done that. But at this exact time, you do not know that it's going to give you this sniper entry, right? So it's a prop firm account. You might lose the challenges very soon. So maybe after this break and the confirmation entry, these are the types of trades you're going to place on your prop firm accounts. Okay, so you need to determine that, okay, trading is not just technical analysis. It's completely about risk management, how you manage your money and all of that. Okay, so yeah, I'll teach you everything. Okay, don't worry. I'll show you what I do. I'll give you my trading plan and all of that. Okay.
Gotcha. Appreciate,
okay.
bro.
Nice, bro. So yeah, anything else that I need to go through? Let me know. No?
That's all,
I'm
brother.
good.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Then that's it for today. I'll talk to you guys in the next session. We'll have it on Monday or Tuesday. I'll give you the times as soon as I can, and I'll send you the recording as soon as I can. Okay, because like you saw that, right? The previous session, I need to do a little bit of editing. At least I need to. Yeah, let me stop recording now.